y'all. So I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts and they were talking about the difference in wanting to feel happy and wanting to feel alive, right? And so what she was sharing was feeling happy is really a thought exercise. In order to feel happy, you can think happy thoughts and feel more happy. But feeling alive requires you to have a more full-bodied experience. It requires you to use all of your senses. It allows you to feel just as good as you feel bad, right? So you can't just think about feeling more alive and actually feel more alive. It really made me think about why people travel, right? Why do I travel? Why do people want to visit new countries? Why do they want to experience new cultures? Why do I want to slow travel the world with my family? And I realized it's because we, you, me, us, we want to feel more alive. So in this video, I am going to share my thoughts on why I think that you're probably searching for happiness, but what you really want to feel is to feel more alive. And I'm also going to share 3 strategies, 3 tips, 3 things that you can do to feel more alive this year. So let's start with, you're probably searching to feel more happy because your day-to-day life feels monotonous. You feel like you're doing the same old-ish every day. It's almost like you're kind of in a trance, like a zombie, right? You do the same thing every day. The sun goes down, the sun comes up, and it's pretty much the same routine. It's very much a routined living. Usually, people seek to find happiness because that routine isn't producing the emotion of happiness, right? Even though it may be things that you're required to do, it doesn't produce a feeling of happiness in your spirit. And so, for instance, with travel, people will go on vacation or they will aspire to go on vacation because they want to feel more happy or they want to switch up their routine. For instance, you want to see new things, you want to feel new emotions, you want to hear new sounds, you want to meet new people, and you want to experience new atmospheres when you're on vacation. Because all of those things require your senses and they're more of a sensory level experience, what you're truly seeking is to feel more alive, not to be more happy. Because you could think about those things alone at home, and I don't know if it will make you feel more happy. But if you're in it, actively in it with your body, then usually you feel more alive. Now, most people wouldn't say, I want to feel more alive, right? Most people would say, I want to be more happy. I want to do something I like. But truly what you're looking to do is feel more alive. I can see it in you because I can see it in me. For instance, whenever I'm planning a trip or I'm on a trip, I automatically feel like I'm more invigorated internally, even if I'm doing the same things that I would be doing at home. So, for example, last year, my husband and I went to Mexico for what ended up being almost a month. And because we were there so long, I had to work from home. I work from home now in Philadelphia. Every day I'm on my laptop. I'm at this desk or somewhere in my house working at my job. And then the evenings I'm probably, taking care of my children and doing some household chores and, doing stuff for my business. However, when I was doing that in Mexico, it felt very different than if I was doing it here in Philadelphia. And that is because being in Mexico made me feel more alive. I was still working on my computer, but I could be working on my computer by the pool. I could be working in a different room and having different views than I usually have, right? My other senses are being more invigorated while I'm away than when I'm at home, right? And even to the point of when it's time for me to be off work, I know that I have something to look forward to because there's going to be something new and exciting I'm going to explore in the evenings, right? So it just feels very different, and I feel more alive. And I know that that is probably what you're looking for as well. It's not the feeling of happiness. You want to feel more alive. So I believe that that's why whenever you ask people about, specifically around travel, whenever you ask people about if you had more money, what would you do more of? And people always say, oh, I would travel more, right? Or if you had, more time, more free time, what would you do more of? And people always say, oh, I would travel. It's not because travel is the best thing to do or the highest priority thing to do. It's because travel makes people feel more alive. It makes them feel more true to themselves. It makes them feel more free. And because of being alive is at the root of being human, we want to feel more human, and thus we want to feel more alive. So you're probably searching for happiness, but what I want you to consider is search and seek to feel more alive. So if you're sick of sensory deprived nature of your life, right? You're sick of the monotony. You're sick of the routine. You're sick of the day-to-day, same old-ish, zombie-like existence. Here are 3 things that you can do to feel more alive this year, which right now when I'm recording this, it's January of 2022. So if anything, if you're watching this in the future, hello, you know what we've been through over the last 2 years. And so you probably really are at a space where you really see the importance of feeling more alive. So here are 3 things that you can do to feel more alive this year. The first is embracing the 50-50. What that means is life is not all happy, roses, excitement, and the things. Really, life is 50-50. It's about 50% good and it's about 50% bad. And you achieving things in your life is not going to change that, right? You having more money, you having more success, you having a man, you being married, you having kids, all of these things are not going to change the fact that life is still going to be about 50% positive and about 50% negative. I went on a lunch date with one of my friends recently, and she said she's trying to struggle well. She trying to, because you're going to struggle because it's life. That's what happens. You struggle. But she's trying to struggle well, and I'm with her. I'm trying to struggle well. So I'm going to pursue the things, that will allow me to do that financially, right? And spiritually, mentally. But I still know that life is going to be 50% good and 50% bad. So one of the things that you can do is just embrace that. Allow it to be that way, and know that regardless if you're in the good, you can maintain it and you feel it while you're there and you were grateful for it at a sensory level, right? You really feel the gratefulness of the good times. And when you're in the bad, allow the bad to come, right? There is no happily ever after in life, right? We can't be happy all the time because bad things happen and we don't want to be happy when bad things are happening. But you have to allow yourself to feel the things on both sides, right? So that's tip number 1. Tip number 1 is embrace the 50-50. Tip number 2 is replace entertainment and news with self-awareness, self-discovery, self-development. Just know yourself, okay? Get to know who you are and why you are the way you are. Right? You can't feel more alive until you fully tap into what makes you specifically feel more alive. Only way that you can determine what makes you feel more alive. And remember, we said alive is a full-bodied sensory experience. It's not a thought, right? The only way to tap into that is to know who you are at your core, at the full-bodied experience. Who are you? And why are you the way that you are? What's important to you? What's valuable to you? What are your goals? What are your dreams and why? What are some of the thoughts and beliefs you have that, that may no longer be serving you or that do serve you? Figure out what those things are. The way you can do this is by replacing TV shows, the news, with some enlightening videos from YouTube, right? Some self-development videos on YouTube. You can replace your normal listening to your radio station while you drive to work or while you do chores or whatever with a podcast, specifically a personal development podcast, to replace so much of the funny social media posts that have you cackling and kikiing all day long, or all evening long, or the ones that just have you scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling blindly. Replace those with some blogs that help you to learn a little bit about who you are, right? That have you learn a little bit about mindset, have you learn a little bit about self-awareness, about limiting beliefs, about thoughts, about emotions, about motivation, right? Explore those things. Replace some of the routines and habits that you have that aren't serving you with routines and habits that do serve you and allow you to better understand who you are. I also would suggest hiring a coach. I'm not just a coach, I am a coachee. So I have had multiple coaches. I still have coaches today. And I am also a coach. And hiring a coach is going to allow you to figure out, why are you not taking action? Why are you not taking action on the things you want from your life? And also, having a coach is going to allow you to find out what are some tools you can use in order to be able to remove some of the mental and the tangible obstacles that are stopping you from taking action. Tip number 2 is replace your entertainment and replace your news with something that is going to allow you to be more self-aware. It's going to allow you to develop your self-awareness, and it's going to help you tap into who you are and why you are the way you are. Tip number 3 is add less stuff and add more adventure. All right. So adventure does not have to mean travel. I know this is a travel page. Adventure does not have to mean travel. Adventure to me really is just something that is new and exciting, right? So begin to prioritize things that make you feel alive. And usually those activities have some form of adventure tied to them. Now, again, you got to do tip 2, which is determining what are the things that make you feel alive. If you can better understand who you are, then you can understand what actually makes you feel alive. In this tip is when we're going to actually do the things. Okay? Do them. And if you can't get to doing them, that's why you need to go back to tip number 2 and hire a coach to help you do it. Okay? You don't have to do it all. You could do one thing a day that is going to make you feel more alive, right? I used to write down in a book every day. Before I wrote my to-do list, I would write what would make me feel happy today. And I would write 3 things, and I would choose one thing that I would do that day, right? I had to do at least one. And really what I realize now is I didn't want to feel happy. I wanted to feel alive. So, do that. You can't do something big that makes you feel alive. For instance, you want to go on a trip to Dubai, or you want to go on a trip to Belize, or you want to go to Brazil, or you want to travel to Caribbean, or, you want to travel across the US, and you just can't do it. You don't have the time. You don't have the money. You don't have the strategy. You just can't do it. Don't let that discourage you. Find out what's at the root of why that thing makes you feel more alive, and figure out how you can do that at a very, very micro level, right? So I love to travel. The reason why I love to travel is because I love new cultures. Anytime I'm learning about new cultures, I am alive, right? Anytime I'm fully in a new culture with all of my senses, I feel most alive. And in the pandemic, I couldn't travel. So what I did instead was found ways to connect to culture at home, right? You can do the same thing, right? So maybe something about tasting new foods when you travel is what makes you so excited. Like smelling them, going to the restaurant, the whole experience. Create that experience at your house. Find the recipes, hire a chef for the evening. Like, do the thing that is going to make you feel more alive. Find out the most micro level way that you can do it and do that. It is going to be something that is going to change your life. I'm trying to tell you. If you can do these 3 things, right, this year, I promise you, it's going to make you feel more alive. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all. I hope this video has helped you to understand the difference between feeling happy and feeling alive, and why you probably should be seeking to feel more alive. Let me know in the comments what you plan to do this year to feel more alive. I want to know, what are the things that you're going to be doing to feel more alive this year? Also, if you're somebody who's like, you really want to make travel happen this year, right? But you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling stuck, you can't figure out how to find the time, the money, the strategy to make it happen, then I got you. Make sure you send me a DM on my IG page for a chance to win a free coaching session with me so that we can talk through how you can make it happen this year. If you're trying to dive into Black travel without booking a flight, right? Trying to get your feeling of feeling alive without booking the flight, I got you as well. Make sure you look at my description and download my digital cheat sheet called Finding Big Fun. It is the guide that's going to tell you about the communities, the hashtags, the people, the blogs, the sites that you can use and follow in order to add more travel to your life and make your dreams of Black travel a reality, even in a pandemic. Okay, so check that out. The link is in the description. Also, if you're trying to see more of me finding the time, the money, and the strategy to make travel happen, make sure you go visit my Instagram page. It is at International Inez on IG. And send me a DM. I love to talk and chat to all of my YouTube subscribers and just all of my YouTube friends in general. Lastly, if you love this video, then I know you are one of my people. So make sure that you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you can hear more about how to transform your life through travel and make your dreams of Black travel a reality. And until we meet again, stay tripping.